FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.
We are back. You are listening to the Financial Survival Network. It's Kerry Lutz here, and we've got Seth Peretzman over at Borderless Holdings right now. Seth, how are you?
Fantastic, Kerry. Thank you for having me, and happy Thursday.
Hey, happy Thursday. So we talked a few weeks back. Actually, I think it was about a month, and we said gold was going to get hit in mid to late July, and here we are. It's mid to late July, and what's happening?
Yep, we're finally seeing the move down here in July, and in fact, for the month, let's see, I did some calculations here. For the month, we're down about 2.75%, and actually this week we're down about 1.5%. So right on cue, just as we've spoken about, the prices are dipping down and under some selling pressure right here. So we're actually in a 4-week low, so it's been nice to see, and it's been nice for the phones to start ringing here.
Yeah, well, hey, no surprises. I never like to see people wait for lower prices to buy because I always think that you should average up or average down. That's what I've always done. But because it was so obvious that they were going to do it, and a guy that I really pay attention to, Craig Hemke, a.k.a. Turd Ferguson. I think he's one of the best metals technical analysts. Once you see that silver's not going to break 22, and once you see that gold was not going over 1342, then it was obvious successive raids, probably one of them was going to cause a breakdown, and could see it go down to 1280, could see it go to 1260, but my feeling, it's temporary. They're just not going to turn the trend permanently around. It's just never been done before. And to think that they're going to do it, I don't know. What's your thought?
I agree with you there. And touching back on Craig, it's one of the highlights of the last Liberty Mastermind Symposium for me was actually getting a chance to meet him. For the first time, getting a chance to chat and speak and get to know him a little bit. But I agree with you on the 1280 mark. 1260 would be fantastic. But I think 1280 in the relatively short-term future here is definitely realistic. And at the same time, hopefully we'll see silver down in the lower 20s, maybe somewhere around 2025, 2030, somewhere in that range. So I think it'd be nice to see that little pullback and have clients back some more physical. And like you were saying, it's nice to have a strategy to average into the market. But for those who have been buying for a relatively, let's call it 3 to 4 years or maybe longer and have a nice foundation under their belt, it's always nice to be able to time the market a little bit or have the luxury to do that. So for somebody who's just getting into the market, then of course there's no bad time to buy gold. You'll buy gold, whatever the price might be, just to get some under the belt, get a foundation going, increase your core holdings. And then once you have whatever amount that is that makes you comfortable, then at that point, it's always nice to have a luxury to time the market a little bit. So for somebody who's looking to time the market right now, I think certainly waiting for another pullback of maybe another $15 to $20 in the next week, 2 to 3 weeks is a safe bet in my mind.
Yeah, it was so clear it was going to happen because you saw the resistance. And Charles Nenner, said 1342. And, personally, I just don't see it going much lower. But these raids have been like really kind of ineffective, anemic, wimpy kind of things. They just don't have the gusto of the raids of like last year and 2 years ago and 3 years ago. There's not conviction in these raids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not like back in 2011. That was some conviction and let's say some quote-unquote gusto back in 2011. So, I would agree with you on that. There doesn't seem to be as much support, not technical support, but actual support for the big raids. So, yeah, they don't seem to be having the same effect. But, again, no one knows. No one knows what can happen. They seem to have as much power as they want to have. So, for them to drop the price or, raise the metals market, it seems to be they can do it at will. So we'll see what happens. But like you said, I don't see too huge of a decline coming up soon. So anywhere around this price or maybe in the 1280, 1260 range, like you said, seems to be a good buying point.
Yep, for sure. And hey, I'm getting my wearable bracelet shortly. Just describe. It's a 1 ounce, 24 karat. Just describe how it's constructed. I know I've attempted to do it a number of times, but I think you're better at it than me.
Sure, absolutely. It's my pleasure. So we have the two different collections or styles. We have, for about a year and a half, we've been doing our traditional collection, which is the BAHT, B-A-H-T. It's a cultural piece. And then we've also been doing the curb link and a unity link, which we do in 1 ounce through 5 ounces. And we do bracelets and necklaces, and those are all chain style, so they are not detachable, but they have been, the last year and a half, incredibly popular. And the BAHT chain, again, spelled B-A-H-T, has been the most popular by far. And then, as I know you're aware, and I think your listeners are aware, back in March and April, we launched our new collection, which we're calling the Contemporary Collection. But it's similar to bead or pearl jewelry, except solid 24 karat, and the end of the clasp screws off, so you can detach each bead. We do the pearls in 10th ounce, quarter ounce, and half ounce pearls. So if you need to liquidate in the future to pay a bill, or in a worst case scenario, you're bartering and trading with it, you don't have to liquidate or sell a full bracelet or a full piece of jewelry. You can liquidate each little piece as you need to, which offers a little more versatility, which clients have certainly appreciated. And we're finally seeing a start to pick up in those orders, to tell you the truth. It started off a bit slow in the springtime, and right about now we're hitting had actually 2 orders from your listeners in the past 5 days here. So it's turning around. It's been a success, and we're looking forward to more orders, hopefully, here.
And I got mine today, so that's 3. And hey, what holds them together? Because, Indians have had these little beads, but the problem with Indian jewelry is that usually their wire, Indian jewelry is generally 22 karat gold, and B, the wire that holds it together is 22 karat, so it's not durable, prone to breakage. Not all Indian, but generally the Indian jewelry that I've seen in the past. Yours is different, though, right?
Yeah, for the Contemporary Collection with the pearl, the 24 karat pearl pieces, the default, or what we typically work with, is a sterling silver snake chain. It will be the typical or default chain that we use. But we've also, I actually have one with a rubberized chain, which for a heavier piece is not going to be the best option. Most likely, it's not going to be able to hold the weight of a maybe 4 or 5 ounce or heavier piece. But for a bracelet, it's certainly a nice touch and a little something different than the sterling silver. But they've both definitely been popular.
Yeah, so the sterling is going to be much more durable than a gold wire, obviously, right?
Absolutely, much more durable, and it's definitely something you want to consider when you're purchasing with us, because, like I said, these pieces they start on the low end at 1 ounce, but they can, for the Contemporary, for the pearl pieces, can get up there, 5 ounce plus, and sometimes in the 10 ounce range. So when you're looking at something like that, it's going to end up being a necklace. You don't want to do a bracelet any heavier than probably 2 to 3 ounces. It's just unrealistic or unreasonable. But for a necklace, you have to consider the amount of weight that you're holding around your neck. So for something, 4 to 5 ounces and higher, that's when it really comes into play, and you're really going to appreciate having the sterling silver or the rubberized core, because it's certainly going to hold up much better than if you had a 24, 23K underlying chain, which is going to be less durable in that situation.
Sure. And again, to repeat the benefits of this wearable, number one, if you're wearing it, you just go effortlessly over borders, because jewelry, you're allowed to wear it, and you don't pay customs, you don't pay tariffs, which if you're carrying bullion on you, you could pay 40, 50, 100% in some of these African countries, South American countries, and it's insurable. Insuring your bullion, you got to go to like Lloyd's or AIG for custom policies. You can't insure bullion under your homeowner's policy, under your floater, but jewelry, wearable wealth, it's no problem to insure. You send in your bill of sale, and nowadays they want a picture, and you're insured. That's
absolutely. And when I like to talk about, I got the 5 key points of the fact that it's transportable, it's valuable, it's detachable, fashionable, and customizable. So, those are the 5 marketing key points there that we like to go with, and those are really the 5 main benefits that we use when we sell.
Yeah, and it's 24 karat. You're not dealing with the 22 karat, which traditionally is the Indian. And I can't wait to start wearing mine. As soon as I get it listed on the insurance policy, I'm going to wear it. Not all the time, because let's face it, it's basically like a $2,000 piece of jewelry, and I don't wear a lot of jewelry either. I'm going to wear a couple of rings and I used to wear I used to be a watch collector once upon a time, but hey, I'll wear it a couple times. So.
And that's one of the things I like to say when I'm talking with people on the phone, with potential buyers or buyers on the phone, is that this isn't a piece of jewelry that you're going to end up wearing on a day-to-day basis. It's going to most likely end up sitting in your safe or wherever it might be, and you're going to wear it for special occasions, or in a worst-case scenario, it's not something you're going to wear out and about, roughhousing, playing basketball. It's something that you're going to treat like a nice piece of jewelry, like it is. And so, but yeah, it's definitely a beautiful piece of jewelry, which honestly a lot of the time gets overlooked because of we're selling it more as wearable wealth and bullion, or a supplement to your bullion rather than actual jewelry. So I think it gets overlooked a lot, but it is beautiful, beautiful jewelry.
Yeah, great supplement. That's what I'm buying it for, is a supplement to my bullion. Just another thing to have. Don't go buying all wearable. It's just, another thing to have. You got to get out of town. You want to be having some of this. And I like the fact that the beads, the size of them, I think that's pretty cool too, that you can customize it. That's rather unique as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And to bring it full circle back to the beginning of the conversation, where we're talking about the difference between a new buyer and somebody who's been buying for a little while. Just like if you're a new buyer, you want to buy in, no matter really what the price is, you just want to get some holdings underneath you and get a foundation going. A new buyer also isn't going to buy the wearable wealth as their first purchase. The priority always should be getting the junk silver, getting the American Eagles, the Maple Leafs, whatever it might be, getting a foundation. And then once you have the luxury to branch out a little bit beyond that, then the wearable wealth certainly comes into play. We don't want it to be somebody's first purchase or to be substituted for their bullion. It's absolutely a supplement for their bullion.
Yep, exactly. So, hey, we'll post some pictures of it up on the website and keep an eye out for it. I think it's the most innovative precious metals product that I have seen in years. It's something that you need to be aware of. And like you say, Seth, supplemental. So you want to talk to Seth, find out more about it, call him at 855-604-6343. I know I said that kind of fast. Still a New Yorker at heart, Seth. 855-604-6343. Or go over to borderlessholdings.com and tell them I sent you, Kerry sent you. And Seth, we'll talk to you next week. And, probably, I guess, we're looking at start of fall, end of August, when things really start picking up in the precious metals market. That's what Nenner says. Yep. I think that's what Craig's thinking. I think that's what you're thinking. That's what I'm thinking as well.
That's absolutely what I'm thinking. And if I also could throw it in there, people want to reach me directly by email. My email is Seth@borderlessholdings.com. Just shoot me a quick email, whether you're looking for a quote or having questions. I can get back to you typically, always within 24 hours, but typically much quicker than that. So always feel free to reach out to me by email as well.
All right. We'll talk to you next month, Seth. Be well.
Terrific. Thank you very much, Kerry.
FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.